Hey brownies, and welcome back to another Sims 4 video. So today we're just going to get straight into the topic, no extra fluff. What is CC? If you click on this video, you want to know all about modding your game, CC, custom content. You guys want to know what it is, the difference between CC and mods, as well as where to find it. So if you would like that information, go ahead and do me a favor, give me a thumbs up on this video and subscribe for more content. I will be dropping a series of videos. We'll be going over how to install all of my favorite CC creators, an entire showcase of CC that I've personally downloaded and that's in my game right now. So the video breakdown will be as simple as this. We're going to start with what CC is, what it isn't, where to find it, how I personally use CC in my game to enhance it, and then in future videos, we'll just go ahead and break down everything step by step by step. So first things first, I want to be sure that you guys are aware and understand that CC, aka custom content, is only available for PC players. If you are on PS4, Xbox, mobile at this time, EA just doesn't support custom content on anything else but PC. So you can only mod PC games. PC meaning a laptop, a gaming computer, a gaming laptop, a gaming desktop, anything that has to do with anything but mobile or console. Trust me, I feel your pain. I can't even imagine playing this game without CC, but that's just what it is at this time. I really hope that they change it in the future, but that's just what it is at the moment. So CC stands for custom content. The terms are used interchangeably because let's be realistic, who's gonna say custom content, every single time we reference, an object? Or for my content creators, who's gonna put in their title custom content for every single video where they use CC, or it's like custom content free. Custom content, CC, same thing, is game assets that are created or recolored by people just like you and I that love playing The Sims. So game assets can be anything from furniture to cars to hair to skin tones, which we all know is a big issue right now. Miss me with that new update because the skin tone still ain't fixed. CC can be anything, objects, pretty much anything that is already in the game. A lot of people like to take the game's assets, trees, cars, clothes, anything of that nature, and recolor them, making them look a different color or look a different way visually, or they create whole brand new assets to put into the game to make the game a lot more fun to play. And a lot of people love to use CC in their games because, let's be honest, this game is still lacking so much so much gameplay wise as well as asset wise. A lot of the Sims content is very cookie cutter and they miss a lot of things. So that is where modders and CC creators around the community that play the game just like you and I go ahead and fill in those gaps pretty much. So let's get into some examples of CC, that way you guys know how to identify them, because they are not mods, but in a broad spectrum you can say it's a way of modding your game in a sense. So some examples of CC would be my Popeyes. I think that is like one of the best examples of CC. For my own channel, the Popeyes that I built, from the sign, the cars, the people in their skin tone, the posters on the wall, the register, the food. There's so much CC that I used in order to create something that was realistic in our real world into the game. These objects and items and skin tones were not available in the game, and dope creators sat down and recolored different items that already existed in the game to look like actual Popeyes decor. And some of these items, such as like the Popeyes food bag and everything, those items were actually made by a CC creator from scratch to put into the game. So now that you guys have an idea of what custom content would look like in game, let's go ahead and debunk what CC isn't. Custom content, it absolutely does not change gameplay. It will not change the way that you play your game. It won't change the way that your Sims act or react to things. It simply just changed the visual look of your game. So think aesthetics when you think CC. You think mods, think gameplay. So in other words, you can't make your Sims act different, move different, dance. Any of that stuff is not custom content. Just think visual. So it is not a mod. The second thing that it isn't is viruses. So CC, or custom content, is created by people like you and I. It's made externally by people that are not being paid on EA's payroll. These people are not on EA's payroll at all. So a lot of times creators will rely really heavily on Patreon, which is like an upfront cost for CC, or sites with ads on them. These ads pay pennies on a dollar for people going on the website and viewing an ad on the side of, you know, a website. So CC creators heavily, most of them you guys will find, they heavily rely on ad revenue in order to keep themselves afloat, gain a little bit of cash here and there for downloads. Because of this pretty much opens up the doors for viruses and malware to enter your computer. You may download or click the wrong thing that wasn't even the CC, it was just a button, some type of spam advertisement on the side, and you just accidentally hit it. So the CC itself may not be a virus, it's the sites that they're being hosted on, or their sites are fine. The ads that are being hosted on the site carry viruses, and you can really easily mistaken a download button that's actually an ad and think that you're downloading whatever it is the creator is putting up for download. So first things first, you'll want to make sure that you have a really good computer with good malware software, and that you're being really vigilant about what you're downloading, what you're clicking, and any extra tabs that are opening up on their own, to close them instantly and make sure that you're paying attention. For me personally, I download on my big computer, my gaming computer. I download from sites that I am familiar with and I know don't have a whole bunch of spam and stuff on it, and any kind of iffy websites I download on my MacBook Pro. I download on there because, I mean, in my personal experience, Macs are pretty much immune to viruses. So that's my personal preference. That's how I download, and I just transfer it or email it to myself and download it onto the computer once I get it onto the Mac first. So yeah, that's just how I do things. And last but not least, it is not owed to you. Let's make it very clear. Custom content is not owed to you. These content creators do not owe anyone anything. People can get really entitled when it comes down to custom content. If you put yourself into those CC creators and modders' shoes, they are people just like you and I. They are buying this game and all of the packs at the same price that we do. They don't get any kind of incentives, but they sit down for free, not on payroll, for free, and create content to make all of our games better. A lot of them just create this content for themselves and their own gameplay, and then they just go ahead and upload it for the rest of us to download so that we can enjoy this content as well. So be grateful and keep that in mind. Like I said, a creator is charging a little bit here and there for their CC, and that's just what they personally are choosing to do. You know, they're buying their own computers, they're buying these packs on their own. You know, when a graphics card, $500 graphics card breaks down, they're using their own funds to go ahead and get a new one to continue creating content. So yeah, just respect the creators and their work, because like I said, they're just not on EA's payroll. And if you have an issue with them charging for things that you feel like should be free, then take that up with EA because they're the ones that made the game so bland and lacking, to be honest, y'all. With that being said, like I said, sometimes you'll find CC that is completely free with no strings attached. You just download it. You don't have to worry about malware or anything, spam, nothing. Option number 2, way more common than anything. You'll end up finding some really bomb CC, realistic CC. Maybe it's hosted on a website that has a few ads on the side, and some of them go a little crazy, I'm not gonna lie. You'll find that more often than not. And the last option would be Patreon. A lot of creators are moving to Patreon. So these content creators are working hours on end for free to make your game dope as heck, y'all. And they don't even exactly own their content, because EA still owns it at the end of the day, after countless of hours of meshing and recoloring. So where do I find it? You've listened to everything. You're like, girl, I'm ready to, you know, indulge in this CC thing. I think I understand it. So if you still want to download CC or custom content, yeah, I'm just super excited. It opens up a whole brand new world for your game, honestly. So the top 2 sites that I recommend, the very first one being The Sims Resource for a beginner. An absolute beginner's recommendation would be thesimsresource.com. It is so simple and beginner friendly, trust me. That is literally where I started, and I still have tons of favorite creators on that website, and I frequent there very often. Not more so for black CC, but more so for like furniture, clutter. They have gotten better throughout the past year or 2 that I've been downloading from them, including more inclusive stuff, such as more black CC, more black hair. They're starting to include a whole lot more, so I'm really excited about that. You'll find a lot on there. I think it's great for beginners because it's super organized. You can scroll or like browse by category, or if you're just really overwhelmed, as soon as you go on the site, they have tons of like recommendations, but it's not overwhelming or overbearing at all. The website is really easy on the eyes and it's easy to navigate. Right at the top, you'll see that everything is categorized by game. They host custom content for all 4 games, all 4 generations, Sims 1, 2, 3, and 4. So just make sure that you're downloading from the right category for the right game. But yeah, they break it down, completely break it down in different categories and make it really easy to find everything. They do have a premium option, which is a paid version. Yeah, the free one is just as good. Yeah, you sit through 10 seconds of an ad, but it's really not that bad. I mean, unless you want to pay for it, I believe it's like $5 for the premium feature. I'm not exactly sure. It gets rid of ads, but I just go ahead and download with the ads. I have no issue sitting through the ads because I don't use the site as often. I usually like do my CC hauls in bulk, and most of like my random downloading is from Tumblr, which is my second go-to place for downloading CC. I don't think it's like really beginner friendly at all unless you kind of know about Tumblr in advance. Like if you already had a Tumblr blog beforehand, then it'll be super easy for you to transition into finding CC on Tumblr. But if you've never used Tumblr before, it can be a little bit overwhelming and kind of hard to find people because it's not like a YouTube. It's not really like a search engine where you can really find people. Most of the creators that I follow today are recommended by other people that I follow. I might go to their blog, maybe they reblogged someone else's stuff and I think their stuff is dope, and I follow that person. They reblogged someone else and I follow that person, and that's how I built my community of blogs that I follow on Tumblr that have really dope CC finds. The one that I would recommend for a beginner just to get started would be Lana CC Find on Tumblr, and I'll go ahead and link her blog as well. She is a reblogger. You'll find lots of creators that just do like storytelling with their Sims and take screenshots of their game, just like on YouTube. But you'll also find like rebloggers or CC Find blogs, which basically they find dope CC for you, and things that they find that are dope, they will reblog so that you can see and you don't have to do all the digging. So if you find a blogger that you like their style of items that they enjoy and that they reblog, then you'll want to follow them and you'll find all the stuff that they find because they'll just keep sharing it on your timeline all day. So yeah, you can start with Lana CC Find. She's just like the Sims resource. It's not a separate website though, so it's a little weird at first when you first get on there, but she has everything organized. You can go by category. You can look at all CC all together for Sims 4. As far as like seeing them all on one page, you're seeing everything, which is a good place to start. And if you're looking for something specific, you can go by actual category, as in like hair for toddlers, hair for female toddlers, beds. It gets really specific and she breaks it all the way down. I don't think she's as active as she used to be, but it's still a really great resource to find CC. So last but not least, how I personally use CC in my game. Y'all know I rarely play the Sim. I love storytelling. I'm more of a storyteller. I love making machinimas and shorts and things like that. I just like to have complete control over my gameplay and the story because I don't know, just to me, I feel like the Sims don't really have a lot of depth to them. They don't have strong emotions. Like they'll be mad at each other one minute and then like hugging the next minute. I be wanting like arc enemies and stuff like that, but I mean, it is what it is. But that's just my personal gameplay style. I just like to build and I like to tell stories. So I personally use CC in my game to make more realistic depictions of real life in my game. I like to use it for more accurate skin tones, for my melanated Sims specifically, better makeup options, and just a realistic look overall for like locations and things that they visit and go to, such as like the gas station, building Walmart, Target, Popeyes, just lots of like realism. I love realistic gameplay. Yeah, that's just my thing. I kind of treat the Sims like an animation software in a sense. Oh, and clutter. Oh my gosh, y'all. Clutter can literally dramatically change the look of your game and give more of like a sense of realism. You can like literally transform the look and the feel of an actual room based on clutter. So if you think about it, like a lot of times when you watch a movie, you can literally tell what a person is like based on their room. So think of like all of our favorite like childhood cartoons and stuff. You can tell who that slob of a character was based on how messy their room was, or who was really artsy based on what they hung in their walls and the colors that they chose for their walls and prints that they go for. The really prissy ones wouldn't really go for lots of bright colors. They would go for like muted tones and minimalism. So clutter just can make such a huge difference in just the overall story, and like it can literally add to your story and tell a lot. This might be a little bit of shade, y'all, but kind of like them vloggers that don't have no kind of furniture in their house, family photos on the wall, and then they move 30 days later. Like the house just feels so cold and empty and doesn't even feel like people live there. But that's none of my business. Clutter can just make it seem so homey and just lived in. Like you can just tell a lived in home, you know? But yeah, so that is it. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope that really made you guys comfortable with the term CC and custom content. I know it can be really intimidating when you're first getting started in the community. It took me so many videos to figure out what CC was, y'all. I told y'all already, I was hooked to Mira, Mira. I watched so many of her videos. I loved her gameplay, and I kept hearing her throw around this term. I had no idea what she was talking about. I thought mods were CC. I thought they were the same thing. If you are a beginner, or if you just enjoyed the content from today, please hit the subscribe button and like, because I will be turning this entire thing into a series. I'm going to break down everything, how to install it. I'm going to show you guys my desktop and show you guys how I organize my CC, where I get it from, and pretty much everything in my CC flow. I'm going to break it all the way down and make it super simple for you guys. Let me know in the comments below what questions you guys have so that I know what you guys are expecting of these videos. I know this was a really highly requested video. Y'all asked me in every single episode of Athena and Kennedy or a live stream, how do I download CC and stuff. So I thought this would be a good starting point just to get you guys familiarized with the terms and see if this is even something that you're interested in, because it's really simple, but it can also be a lot to, you know, on the average person that's just getting started. So I love y'all so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, brownies.